Now then, welcome back to another episode on the Hypermine Infinity Evolved server. Today I am mostly dressed like a bunny rabbit and eating carrots. How's your day? Yes, what are you wearing? No, don't answer that. Do not answer that in the comments, thank you. I've been working really hard, working on, that's now empty. I've got an inventory full of stuff. I don't think I've got everything I need yet. But I thought I'd bring you in to the building stage. I want to build it. Down here, down this tray here, there is an area that I have quarried out. I quarried it out because I wanted to use it. So quarrying it all out, got all the resources, all the funky materials, all the cool stuff, but also made a lot of space for me to use to build this contraption thing that I'm building here in my base. Last episode we were talking about the big reactors, and I've started building a big reactor there, a big reactor turbine just there. But first off, I had to get all the steel to make these high pressure boilers. And at the moment, these high pressure boilers are full of water and full of steam, but they're not producing anything because they burn coal. I've got an ender chest set up here where there will be coal going into an ender chest from the quarrying. And that will then produce steam. The steam goes up into the tank, and then the tank will pump steam straight out into the other place. See you later, Benotos. Benotos. He's doing lots and lots of bees. I hope you've looked on his channel. So I am creating a big turbine, a big massive turbine, a big massive turbine, and I think my jetpack will just get in the way on this particular build. So we're going all the way up. We're going 15 rotors high. 15 rotors. Ay. It quickly changed into rotor blades. That's not exactly what I wanted. And rotor blade wise, right, 15 rotors high. Rotor blade wise, we're going to put 4 rotors, 8 rotors on each. So I'm going 10 times 8 equals 80 rotor blades. So that's the plan. I'm going 80 rotor blades up. And this way round for some reason. I don't know why I'm doing it this way round. I think I just decided it was going to look nice this way round. So I'm doing it this way round. Let's just drop down here. Look. So I can see the rotors rotoring from the steam, which gets pushed through the rotors all the way up to the next part of the process, which will be then taking the power out. So I've got all this to build, and also we've got the whole frame to build. So all the way up here, I can put a frame block on there. There we go. And I think this will be here as well. Yes, it will. So I've got a lot of framing and building and structuring to do. And I thought I'd better bring you in to show you just how much work it is. That is annoying that it gets you like that. Wait, can I jump over? Yes, I can. Awesome. And the rest is glass. Now, glass costs a little bit more because it costs 2 glass and a block. So I don't really need to put glass on, but I have been planning on putting a great big glass sides on them so I can see the cool turbine on the inside. But this costs a lot of materials, as you're probably aware if you've looked it up in NEI at all. And if not, when you look it up in NEI, you'll realise just how much materials this is actually causing me to use up. But it will be worth it because it will be a lot of power. And hopefully by the end of this episode, I will have it constructed and working, and you'll be able to see the output of such a thing. And then I can use the power, the amazing amounts of power, to start building a whole host of other things that will also be amazing and uber. And this is just the first of potentially many that I'm going to be building because there's never enough power. Never enough power. I've got another setup there ready. I've got another 2 corners there that I might be doing the same. And this is meant to have a second one running in that area there as well. So it's going to be massive. It's going to be massive. And I'm just getting started on the build itself. So I'm going to just get on with it and carry on building it, and I'll pull you back in and show you the next stage when that arises. And wish me luck until then. Alrighty, well, I'm trying to make a load of Enderium. To make my big reactor turbine the best it possibly can be, I need Enderium. And I've just pulverized all of my gold supplies. I don't have any redstone ore, but I do have gold ore, and I've used all that up. Now, Cinnabar, I need Cinnabar, okay? Cinnabar. This is also Cinnabar ore from Thorncraft. I could just break all this Cinnabar down into Cinnabar, but I've also been trying to do it this way, by pulverizing my gold to get Cinnabar. What I want is a lot of the stuff, because I've got some ferrous ore, and the ferrous ore, when it's put through an induction smelter with a load of this Cinnabar ore, should give me the Cinnabar, should give me the silver shiny ingots that I need. And I've been working over here to put all of this together to make about 333 ingots of molten Enderium. So molten Enderium is silver and tin and resonant ender and shiny ingots all combined together to make Enderium. And then when I've got the Enderium, I can just make it straight into block form and use the block form for the coil in my turbine. That's my plan. So I've got a lot more grinding to do, but hopefully this Cinnabar will just go straight from the Cinnabar ore, and I'll be able to get lots and lots of it. That's what I need, though. That's the best material I can use for my coil in the turbine. So that is what I'm planning on doing. Now, let's have a look to see if this will pulverize. Nope, it's not the pulverizable type, so there's nothing I can do to make the Cinnabar into actual Cinnabar, other than, I believe, I can put it on, let's see, we can, fluid transposer, we can put gelid cryothium onto Cinnabar to make Cinnabar that I can then use in here. Now, as I've just run my process of gold, I've got no gold left. I could just use the gold for the coil, but, well, I kind of want to do it properly the first time. I could get all this smelted up, though, and get all the gold sorted out, and then at least show you what's going on by the end of this episode, if I haven't figured out another way of doing things. The one other way of doing things is obviously doing this. Making gelid cryothium is, well, there's a couple of ways. The easiest way I can see, I think, is to make a fluid transposer on snowball, put in destabilized redstone on a snowball, makes bliss powder. I don't really know how that works, to be honest, but still, it's supposed to work. I've got some destabilized redstone there. All I need to do is make some snowballs. I could come up with an overblown, glorified system of doing things, and I don't know whether it's worth it. But, well, I've got no snow, have I? I've got no snow, and I haven't generated any snow. There is a glacial precipitator which creates snowballs as far as I know, but I've got a few bits and pieces to make out of that still. So I will be back with you guys just as soon as I've got a solution for my problem. Well, it was certainly lucky that I had a lot of saltpeter in my storage. I think I had 6 saltpeter ore, which gave me about 60 night ore. And the recipe for making this cryothium dust requires night ore or saltpeter with snow, redstone, and bliss powder. So I've already made the bliss powder. Now I'm making as much of this cryothium as I can while I've got the chance. And the rest of it can stay in there for now. And I've got a lot of stuff going on all over the place. I'm up to, 4 blocks of Enderium. I've got some more in there, enough to make another one. I just need to add some more shiny into that mix to get some more Enderium. I've got a long way to go, but at least I'm hot on it now. This has no redstone in it right now, so let's put some cryothium in there. That would do that very quickly. I could also use some of this bucket-wise to get me sorted out with a better cooling system on my controller down here, or my reactor down here. But that's secondary. Now I can make the stuff easily enough. The problem here is this glacial precipitator only makes stacks of 16 and then it fills up. So I could do with having a proper automated system down here for making this stuff work properly. But just for now, just for the now, it'll be fine. I promise you, it'll be fine. So we'll just get the first bit done on camera so you can see what we're doing. And then I'm out of here to get on with it. Right, so... it was this, wasn't it? Put that in there. 200 of this gets used and makes a cinnabar. Awesome. Okay, so let's put the rest of that in there now. That's awesome. Okay, and we should fill this up and get through as much cinnabar as I've got. And then I can transfer the cinnabar over to here. Put the cinnabar into the secondary output there. Yep, that's for when I was doing the other thing. And let's put 4 in there for now, just because I don't want to use the induction smelter to smelt the ferrous ore without there being cinnabar. And this also automatically gives me 100% chance of having those shiny ingots, and also gives me 3 ferrous ore while I'm there. Can't complain at that. Can't complain at that at all. So we have a success. It's a slightly long-winded process, but it is worth it in the end. Oh, well, I am literally scraping around for any fragments that may be able to make me a few more Enderium. I just need a couple more Enderium blocks. Let's put those in there. Resident Ender, yeah, I can put some more of that in as well. Let's do that while I'm here. There we go. Everything topped up nicely. Good, good. I've also got some tin and silver left, that's okay. It's just been this shiny. I've literally been running around all over the place to get 40 blocks of Enderium. And I managed to get 34 blocks and 6 ingots worth. So I've just been out caving a little bit. Got a little bit more of the ferrous and to pulverized it up, well, induction smelted it up to make it shiny. And each one of these should be another 4 Enderium. Maybe. It's about 32 Enderium. No, it's not quite enough, is it? It might work out. It might work out. I'm going to build it with the gold anyway for now. So we'll start with that one. And I'll just put this on now and see how it performs. And then we can upgrade to Enderium afterwards and see the difference. As you can see, everything's coming together quite nicely. Quite nicely, I say, quite nicely. I haven't put the sides on yet. I've got to make all those side pieces, but still, we're getting there. Now, coil-wise, I should be putting a coil all the way around it. So this... Oh, that... There. No! This isn't going to be as easy as I thought. I want 5 coils altogether. I want 5 coils all... Oops-a-daisy. I want 5 coils altogether. All around it. That's what I want. It should be simple, straightforward, shouldn't it? But I'm just making it look hard. Right. So, 1 coil. Give me that. Okay, so I'm just going to coil it up and put the final glass in all up the sides and the essential blocks that I showed you about what you need for a reactor and the turbine in the last episode. And I'll show you again this episode, but still. I'm just going to get that finished off, and then we should be good. And then I'll get it all working, and then we'll set it up and see how much power it gets from just gold. There we go. Awesome. Alrighty. Well, my day has been full of running backwards and forwards and sorting things out. All day, on and off, here, there, everywhere, doing stuff, constantly. This server has been a marvellous thing, because I've been able to just get on with it and leave certain things happening while I've been off doing family stuff and real life things. And we've finally made it. We've finally made it. I do have a new problem now, however. A new problem. Oh, my days. Will it ever be done? This build, this reactor here, this turbine reactor, is perhaps the most labour-intensive thing I have ever crafted into a multi-block structure. I've done some big builds before in Minecraft, but nothing so labour-intensive to get one thing working as this. It is awesome looking though, isn't it, right? 5 coils of Enderium blocks. That's 40 blocks of Enderium. That's a lot of Enderium. And lots of the reactor panes of glass and stuff. That wasn't so hard. To actually build it wasn't so hard. Then all the Tesseracts. We've already got all the high pressure boilers and everything. And these things, the super Lemenia fluid ducts, hopefully to quickly pull the... Well, it says there's infinite transfer on it, like, so I'm expecting it to be something like that. Let's throw it in here. Right, hold shift for details. Transfers fluid, limitless transfer rate when pressurized. Okay, so I just need to pressurize them, and then we've got something good going on there. That is taking the steam from here and pushing it up into a Tesseract, and the Tesseract is beaming it over to that and putting steam in there. Now, what is going wrong here? This has switched. Why did you switch? Okay, that's better. Somewhere down the line, my colours had got mixed up, and I hadn't diamonded my tank, so it wasn't my own personal frequency. Red, with a diamond on it, gives me the lava from my lava source, and that is getting put into a fluid transposer, which is constantly filling buckets. The buckets are constantly being pumped into this steam boiler, keeping that full, and then the empty buckets are pulled out, put back into here to be refilled again. And I think I've got 5 buckets circling all together, something like that. 4 in here, 1 in there, something like that. But this temperature takes ages to build up. The steam in the steam boiler, the temperature takes ages to build up in this. But still, it's all good. It's all fine. Next up, let's get a block. Let's take this block. Can I put this block on here? No, you won't let me put that block on there. That's a pointless idea. Let me put this block on there. That'll do. Can I jump up here? Up. There we go. And you there. Okay. And break some glass. Can I break it faster like that? No. Just checking. I've been breaking this stuff all day like this, the hard way. I just thought maybe I was doing something that I could do faster and better a different way. Let's put this Tesseract up here. Right. Now, that fluid port that I've just put on it, I've got 3 fluid ports. Each one is allowed to take, I think it's 1,000. 1,000 steam? I think it's 1,000 steam, something like that. So I have to select steam and allow it to receive fluid. Don't want it receiving power. There we go, receive fluid from that steam channel. And then this thing should be running. That's got me 3 output steams and 3 input steams. One of the output steams is currently running off lava power. I'm going to have one that's going to be running off charcoal and coal, and one maybe that's running off blaze rods. That's why I brought some blaze rods to check. Yeah, I'll deal with that in a minute though. Let's have a look at this. I want to put this on top of here and have that drain off. It should be input from the bottom. Yeah. No signal required. There we go. I think it's already emptied out its buffer. Yes, it has. Okay, so we're pretty much empty. We've got steam and water. I set it to vent overflow only. In the other version, I used to vent all exhaust so that it would just swap back over, so the water would turn back into steam and swap back over. But in this case, because I'm doing it via Tesseract, it's not possible, and also those stay full of water very much because of that water down there. So that's all good. Now, before we engage the coils, we've disengaged the coils. Let's have a look to see just how much it does. Now, I tested this out with gold, and when I tested it with gold, I didn't get much of a response because I basically just used up all of my charcoal and coal supplies from the ender chest. It all just disappeared, and I've since been trying to fill it all up with anything that would burn, right? Just anything that'll burn, because, well, I needed it to work as fast as I could. Now let's do this again. Doesn't it look awesome? Yes, it does. I want to see if this fuel burns. It does seem to burn, and it burns for a little bit longer than charcoal does, which is nice. Nice to know, because I'm thinking of doing a blaze farm next. I'm thinking of doing a blaze farm so that I can have blaze rods galore going into one of these boilers. I've got to have lava coming in through an ender tank, through an ender pump or a buildcraft pump or something to keep the lava in here so it's constantly cycling to give this one a constant supply of fuel so that it can make steam, but the steam's all evaporating very quickly because it's not very hot. And I think maybe I can make it hotter by letting the water run down a little bit. But at the minute, it's got so much water and it's always keeping up. It's just not keeping up with the steam, is it? That's taking a lot of steam up there. A lot of steam. And this one is also emptied of steam, but now it's starting to fill through with all this kind of stuff. It's going to take ages to warm up. So the readings we're about to take on here are not a fully working active turbine. It's just what we've got at the minute. And the rotor speed is still only at 92. Yeah. It takes a fair amount to get up to that sort of speed. It takes a fair amount indeed. And I have got to figure out exactly where the sweet spot is. I mean, this should actually make it go up faster. Yeah, something like that. Let's take that down, and it stops altogether. Let's put a little bit in. And it doesn't move anyway, you see. So I've got to find a sweet spot to make this, like, pump up the jam, as it were, and build up its speed. Now, this is only moving at 100 revs per minute, or rotations per minute, and 900 is its best, really. This is not receiving anything because this is currently not making anything. To activate the coils before it's reached at least 900, which is somewhere around here, would be a complete waste of time. I want it to get up to 1800 and then engage the rotors to get a full test. But I don't see us being able to do that this episode, or at least not right now anyway. If I engage the coils, I'm still making a good 700 RF per tick just at that slow speed. That's nearly 1000 RF per tick, and it's hardly doing anything at all. But if we disengage the rotors, it does tend to make a little jump in that again. So I can engage it, disengage it, and get some more heat, as it were. Revolutions per minute. Now, I've just got to leave this to run. I've got to let it build up. It's going to build up some steam. I'm going to need to work on steam production as a paramount because this is just not hot enough. This is not doing enough. My steam has already... My lava's run out again because that chunk's not loaded where the lava supply is. This is only just taking its time, and there's charcoal, and oh my days. I should have just stuck to solar power or something, shouldn't I? It does look cool. It does look awesome. Now I've got to kind of feed it. I got to feed this beast, and I've got to make sure that I give everything I've got to putting charcoal and blaze rods and the lava in here. I'm actually thinking lava might not work. Charcoal, I can make a charcoal farm. Blaze rods, I can make a blaze farm. And the final one, whichever's left over, a bit of everything. Whatever goes into them is good. And I don't need to make any more of these things to make it work. It should work the way it is. It's getting all of this and it's doing all of that. And we're getting it all working. And it's slowly but surely building up its rotor speed. So I'm going to go off and do something else for a little bit. And then come back and see how much rotor speed we've got out of it after a little while of feeding it. Well, it's the end of a very long day, and it's coming to the end of the episode. This is how much energy I've managed to produce from this great big reactor turbine. But now I've turned it all off, disconnected it all, stopped it all working, until I've got enough fuel to make steam. And lots of steam. I've taken everything off, so I've got nothing attached, and I know nothing's going to work. Nothing there. Also, taken into using anchors now. A world anchor does a 3x3 area, or a 3x3 chunk area. And this carved out area just happens to be 3 chunks wide by 3 chunks wide. So in the centre of these, which I've got 4 planned, if you check out the map, I've actually got 4 planned. 1 here, 1 there, which we're about to go and have a look at. 1 over here, 1 over here. I'm going to have 4 of these 3x3 chunks, and then I'm just going to pop another chunk loader in the centre there, and then that's the whole base sorted. All I'm doing is I'm just feeding it ender pearls. Just feeding it ender pearls from an ender chest into there. Keep it busy. Each ender pearl is an hour of server time, which is good. And that is going to keep that going. And then over this side, the first of the farming methods that I'm going to be doing. And this is a really messy hole. It's a really messy hole. I've got a hole, I've got a ravine, and I've got a abandoned mine shaft, and all sorts of junk all the way through this. And I'm going to need to figure out a way of tidying up the walls and all that kind of stuff in the future. But just for now, I've chunk loaded the centre again and built a little tree farm. And I think I did a tree farm in one of the first few episodes, so I didn't do it again. It's just the same thing though. It's a harvester, and it's taking the items, splitting the saplings off into here, putting the wood and the apples and everything into a tesseract this time, so the tesseract then beams it back to base. That's all the difference is. And this hardened energy cell is hardly using any energy, because the planter hardly uses energy at all. So I could use a tesseract for this, or I could bring power from the tesseract to it. But for the amount of energy I'm using, I don't think I'll bother. I think I'll just replace it every now and again. I'm actually thinking of another tree farming technique that I might want to employ down here in a 3x3 chunk area. But that is not for right now. The one thing I find troublesome about these MFR farms is the inability to, I don't know, keep up with it. Like, all of these trees, all these saplings are planted now. Its first course of action is to get rid of all the leaves, so it'll start getting rid of leaves, right? And then it will start getting rid of the trunks afterwards, yeah? But if another tree grows like that, then it starts taking all the leaves off one. Another tree grows like that and touches, it starts taking the leaves off that one. Another one grows, it starts taking... It doesn't get to the wood. So it kind of gets a backlog every now and again. I come in here and it's fully overgrown and there's loads and loads of wood everywhere, and all it's doing is trimming leaves and replanting saplings. Now, there's another one that's growing now, and it's not... Wow, there's another one, you see? It's starting to lose control. I'm losing control. It's starting to lose control of the harvesting method. And that sucks as a farm. You want the farm just to, like, chop it all down real fast. Forestry farms do a pretty good job of keeping up with that, but forestry farms require power and fertilizer. Now, no doubt I'm going to pick up plenty of fertilizer. There's plenty of appetite around somewhere. I think I've got loads of appetite already, and fertilizer lasts a long time. But it's just this little thing here, like this, is annoying me. Trees are growing, adding to the workload of the machine. And the machine is working fast. It's not idling or anything. It's doing lots and lots. It's eating lots of power just to get rid of leaves and not actually get the wood. So I'm going to have a look at another method that I haven't used before myself, but I know is a very good method of doing it. I'd also like to put some sort of mob farming around here as well, but maybe not in this cube, as it were. In this cube, we'll stick to farming materials like all of the tree types and all of the plant types and all that kind of stuff, all the way up, just one great big greenhouse farming thing that beams everything back. Over this side we've got the power station making tons and tons of RF to pump power into the farms and take the produce of the farms. And then over in that corner, we'll probably have mob farming. So the power can just sort of move across that way. Or actually move across that way. That's better. Move across that way. That's good. Yeah, there's a hole down there. It's another one that I've carved out already. We'll go in here and check it out. The best thing about bedrock floor flat is mobs can't spawn, so I don't need to light it up. So I haven't really lit it up in here, but this is under the sea, this one actually. This one's under the sea. If you dig straight up, you'll end up being in the ocean. But it's pretty dark, so I'm not going to stay here for a long time. But that might be a good place to put mob farming and things. I've got the big plans, and today I've exhausted myself on getting this monstrosity of awesomeness into place. And I've designated areas for 2, 4, 6, 8 of them all together, which is a ridiculous amount of stuff and things to do. But I enjoy it, so I will do it. And that is that. Well, thank you all very much for watching another episode of Hypermine on the Infinity Evolved server. I will be seeing you very soon because we've got some farming to do and some mob grinding to do and all sorts of awesome things revolving around killing stuff. And making lots and lots of charcoal and blaze rods and stuff for later. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode of Hypermine